Hi everyone, welcome to another Meet the Speaker for the Astrological Conference 2025, which will run from the 28th to the 31st of August in Nottingham, UK, at a really beautiful venue, Eastwood Hall. There's still a handful of residential slots left, so please do hurry if you're wanting to book. It's really easy. Just head to the website astrologicalassociation.com. And of course, there's also the online option too if you can't make it in person. So today we are meeting and chatting with Israel Ajose. So welcome, Israel. Thank you for
Thank you.
having a
Thank
bit
you
of
for
a
having
chat
me. Great
with
to be here. Great to
us.
be here. Always a pleasure.
So, Israel is a devoted teacher specializing in astrology, tarot, and consulting. He completed his full honours in psychological astrology at the CPA in London under the guidance of Liz Green, and furthering his studies with Robert Zoller and Robert Schmidt in traditional and medieval astrology, tarot, etc. So, as a full-time practitioner and educator, he imparts knowledge in astrology, tarot, philosophy, and esoteric teachings. And formerly president of the Astrological Lodge in London, Israel's expertise extends to cosmology, mythology, occult sciences, Kabbalah, shamanism, and divination. So your talents are endless.
Yeah, that's a huge, huge list there. It's like, is that me? Is that
It's
all me?
Oh no, it's you. It's impressive. It's very impressive.
Oh.
So at the conference, Israel will be delivering the Carter Memorial Lecture on the Friday evening, which is a huge honor. Come on, it's a huge
It is
honor.
it's a yeah talk. I can feel the weight on my shoulders already. Like, the amount of conferences I've attended obviously the Carter Memorial. It's just like, oh my God, it's my turn now. Like,
I know. So please tell us a bit more about what you're going to talk about.
Yes, well, my talk is talking about exploring the symbols, the planetary symbols that we
Yeah,
use in astrology today.
yeah.
So each planet, of course, and as you know, astrology is a language. It's quite interesting when with my students, I'm often, I often find that at some point, into the course, they always say, "Oh, this is like learning a new language," and it is a language,
Yeah,
and it's a language, of course, which is embedded with symbols, of course.
yeah.
And when we look at a chart, there's nowhere where it says Aries or Taurus or it says the moon or the sun. It's all symbols.
Mhm.
So, and I suppose, like most of us as well, when we come into astrology, and again, I'm not having a go or blaming anybody or anything like that or any criticism, but whoever our teacher is or whatever school we go, we learn all these symbols, but we question where are the origins of them? I suppose maybe some people have. I'm not disputing that they haven't in the past, but generally speaking, we probably don't. We just say, okay,
Yeah.
the moon's the crescent moon, and we've got the circle with the dot, and that's the sun. And what is the meaning, or where do they come from? Because the older we look at charts in history, we actually even find there are symbols that don't even look alike. The symbol that was used maybe for the moon, 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, would have been different from what we're using today.
Mhm.
And of course, things get modernized and they get standardized and things evolve, of course. But what is the meaning behind that? And that's what I want to go into, because I feel, yes, we do know what Saturn means in a chart. We know what Jupiter represents and, Mars and so on and so forth. But perhaps by understanding the symbols, perhaps we can also add an extra layer of information
Yeah.
or extra depth of information in terms of what that planet is for. Not, again, not having a go at any astrologer that, oh, you don't know the meaning. Of course, we know what Saturn is. We know
Mhm.
Saturn's about limitation and responsibility and
Yeah.
discipline and stuff like that. But perhaps it's also maybe telling us something more on a philosophical or esoteric level also as well about the meanings of those planets. So that's what I want to go into. And it's actually a lecture which I'm dedicating to two people, actually, one who's passed and one who's still alive. So Janet Augustine is the first person, and she's passed away, bless her, because she kind of was she's a big trigger in this, in me wanting to give this talk, but also Liz Green, who's obviously still with us,
Mhm.
who I studied with. It's my first, if you say, diploma in astrology was with Liz Green, and I kind of, so I come from that
Yeah.
from that fabric, if you want to say. So I'm dedicating it to them because those two people played a very pivotal role in my life, as a whole. But in terms of this talk which I'm giving, they stimulated and made me, go on that research in terms of to look into the different meanings or symbolism behind each one of these planets. So that's what I'm going to be giving a talk on. So it's a talk that I say it's quite simple. Hope I deliver it in a very simple, somewhat basic level, easy to digest, but at the same time, to also have people just thinking a bit more different about these planets, and looking at just other aspects, and again from a partially esoteric or philosophical perspective of how these planets, have their meanings, and why do we say, Mars is drive, or Mars is, and perhaps there's also other words as well that we could use also for these planets as well, which is not necessarily a part of everyday lexicon in astrology, and things we might be, just not necessarily missing, but there can be more, is what my explanation essentially is about. So that's what I'm going to be going into. So, hopefully people who are attending will be able to get another layer or another way of interpreting the planets when we see them in the chart. Another thing what I feel is very important is because, when I came into astrology, I kind of came in the era where, because it was sort of like early 2000s kind of thing. And it was kind of like the era where hand drawing charts were being phased out because people were having computers and no computer programs. So I kind of came in and on that. So it was sort of like when I was coming in, it was kind of like the last of the Mohicans. It was like the last people drawing hand charts were kind of were kind of there. And I never forget, again, when I was at the CPA, and Claire Martin gave a brilliant one-day workshop. And it was actually under her I learned how to do a hand-drawn chart. You see, and from then on I started, and from time to time, now and again, I still do a hand-drawn chart. I do cheat a little bit, as it is insofar as that I've got sort of like a printout of a chart already. So I like just putting in, and I do find, and it was something again that Claire Martin and Liz Green opened my eyes to, that there's something about when you're drawing the symbols, you're drawing that moon, you're drawing that sun, something comes out.
There's a connection, isn't there?
There's a connection there. And I don't feel we get that, when, as opposed to, of course, for efficiency and time as well, it's great to be able to pop in the details and a chart just pops up on your screen or on your phone or something like that. That is good. But because I often find, even when I'm doing charts, even for clients, I'm always trying to get their details much, days, weeks before. Because I want to sometimes when I bring up, I want to sit with the chart. I want to look at it first, even though I've done it by a computer. But I'm just looking at that moon, and I'm just letting the chart speak to me, and just letting things resonate. So I'm not suggesting it's wrong to do charts by computer. I just think it's a different way, and I think they're here to stay. Computers are here, technology's here. It's not going anywhere anytime soon, definitely not in our lifetime, and it's going to get more standardized, and things will change as time goes on. That's fine. I just think it's a different way. But when you're hand drawing it, there is something, I'd use the word magical. People would say maybe intuition and things of that nature, which yes, but there is something quite magical about, you're just drawing it in, and it just kind of speaks to you in a particular way.
And do you know what? I'm so thrilled you brought that up, because I resonate with that so much. So I came through the Mayo School, and when I did my diploma, which is a few years ago, and the syllabus has changed now a bit, one of the modules was hand drawing a chart and how to calculate a chart, etc. So in theory, I know how to do it, etc. But none of us have time to really do that. But
Exactly.
do you know what I just love doing? I print the chart off and I
Right.
just sit and make notes around the
Exactly. Yeah.
chart.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my pen or pencil or hand is connecting to that
Exactly.
chart. And I absolutely get that.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'll ever stop doing that. And it's
Yeah.
similar to I just always go here.
Oh god, yeah, to the ephemeris. I mean, you can't. I mean, mine is it's literally a hand away. My ephemeris. I'm
Yeah.
always telling my students that look, but my ephemeris is there. I don't live with that, and they're like, oh, you still using ephemeris, and it's like,
Yes, do yeah.
and with my students, sometimes it's like I might as well be speaking Chinese because they're thinking, I ain't got time for this ephemeris. I just want to pop it up on the screen and look
But
at the
it's quicker
chart.
to look at the ephemeris
And
sometimes.
I'm like, and I even tell my students, I say, look, even with this ephemeris, I say, especially maybe if it's maybe looking for a particular planet where somewhere, or looking at a chart. I said, I can find out where a planet is faster. By the time you've uploaded
Yeah,
your software or whatever, I can just look at the day. Oh, yeah, Saturn's there at, 6 degrees of Gemini before you've had a look at the chart. So I said, this is still even quicker, really,
it
on
is.
some
And
levels.
and you could draw a basic chart without houses,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah,
Just on any day from that ephemeris, you could draw
yeah,
the aspects
yeah,
between all the
exactly,
planets' placement and
exactly.
have a basic chart.
I'll try. Oh yeah,
Of
most
course you
most
could.
definitely, most
Yeah,
definitely. But
yeah,
I just feel it's just different times. Again, it's
of course. And I couldn't
it's
cope without my software.
yeah,
Come on, you need it. You need
yeah. And I
it.
feel also as well, even from an astrological perspective, maybe people who are maybe more earthy, or
Yeah,
maybe they've got planets in Virgo, or they're a bit more kind of methodical, or maybe people with Mercury and Earth signs, they may graft towards more hand-drawn
yeah,
things, or maybe
yeah,
someone's got a strong Saturn in their chart. Perhaps maybe that would help, or would increase
yeah,
the chances of maybe somebody leaning towards more of that.
yeah.
Maybe while somebody's a bit more airy or a bit more Gemini, they might want something a bit more quickie, and okay, just
Honestly,
put it up
yeah,
and put the data
yeah,
in and bring up the chart. But
yeah.
it still comes down to just having that connection with the symbolism. What is it that I am drawing? Or even if it's coming up in a chart, what is that symbol? What is that? Why the circle, and all of that is what I'm going to be speaking about.
I can't wait. I'm going to be there because I'm obsessed with glyphs.
Ah,
I,
right.
I'm
Okay, right. Yes.
obsessed with glyphs,
Yeah.
symbols,
Yeah.
and I'm always really jealous in the nicest possible way
Yeah.
for my friends and colleagues who are multilingual and can speak
Right.
French, Italian, or whatever. Because
Right.
I was
Yeah.
useless at languages at
I love
school,
it.
but give me symbols.
Right.
My
Exactly.
home. I
Yeah. I
taught
think symbols are
myself.
very profound.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I taught
Yeah.
myself to play and read music when I was
Yes.
6 years old.
Yes. Yeah. Right.
Symbols
Example.
speak to
Right.
me.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm going to be there at your
Yeah.
talk on the Friday night
Oh,
when
thank
it
you. Thank
out.
you. I mean, they say a picture speaks 1,000 words.
It
And,
does, but
and
then it creates 1,000
well,
words.
exactly. And I
Yeah,
think a symbol is something which encapsulates
yeah,
stories,
yeah,
concepts,
yeah,
ideas,
yeah,
philosophies can all be encapsulated in one particular symbol.
yeah,
So a symbol can
yeah,
be very, very loaded. And another thing I'm going to be touching on also in the talk is just looking at some of the histories, how we've been influenced, whether it's Egyptian or Babylonian and Hellenistic period, which
yeah,
brought a lot, again, added to Roman, and how things have come through the medieval, through the Renaissance and stuff like that up until today. Even until the last 100, 200 years. I mean, because when we look at newly planets like Uranus,
mhm,
Neptune, and Pluto, which have been discovered in the last 200-300 years, we've got glyphs for them as well. Where
mhm,
do they come from, and who, and there've always been debates in terms of what should it
yeah.
use, and some of them have two different kinds of glyphs, and so yeah, just looking at that really, and just having this consideration also in our mind in terms of when we're using these glyphs and having an understanding of them. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be amazing, and I don't
I
think there'll
can't
be
wait.
any
I'm looking
empty
forward to it.
seats.
I'm nervous but excited at the same time. It's like
Oh, yeah, yeah, I get it. I get, oh no,
it's big honest, it's bigger. And Carter, I mean, Carter's one of my favorite astrologers ever, Or I mean, one of the Libra, he's a Libran like me. So it's like I was like
ah,
so it's like heavy shoes to fill. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
You will be absolutely great. And like
Thank
I
you,
say,
thank
I
you.
cannot wait. And I'm sure afterwards we'll all go for a great drink in the bar and
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
yay
that's where it's going to be open for discussion. That's where it's going to be,
in the bar
questions and answers in
afterwards.
the bar, at the bar, no, over a glass of wine. I mean, I don't
Oh,
drink, but go right ahead.
definitely. So, just a reminder, everyone, there's still just a very few last residential places left. So just head over to the website, astrologicalassociation.com, and it's really, really easy to book. And I'm sure Israel and I hope we both see you there,
Yeah.
definitely, and especially in the bar afterwards for a
Oh yeah,
pre-talk,
definitely. It's going to be
sorry,
exciting
post-talk
stuff.
discussion. Exactly. Thank you, Israel. See you
Thank you.
soon.
Thank you
Take
very
care.
much. Thank you very
Bye.
much. Bye,
Bye
guys.
bye.